Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart HVAC Marketing Podcast. My name is Eric Thomas. I'm the host of the show. And today we are joined by Ryan Osterkamp from Quality Comfort Home Services. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be a great episode. We're looking forward to uh, chatting with you a little bit more and talking about your unique area and some of the ways that you've grown your company and are able to stand out in that market. So, Ryan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and tell them a little bit more about your business?
Yeah, like you said, my name is Ryan Osterkamp. We're based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's Quality Comfort Home Services. So we do heating, cooling, plumbing, duct cleaning, dryer vent cleanings, and gas lines.
Nice. So, a little bit more than the typical HVAC contractor, it seems like.
Yes, each year we try to add another service just to kind of keep us, moving through the slow seasons. We don't have so many ups and downs, just to try to keep everybody busy.
Yeah. So with those services, which time of the year is popular or the most popular for each one of your services?
HVAC is definitely the summer. We stay very busy from May to about September, as the temperatures get pretty warm here in Cincinnati. And then plumbing, we don't see a whole lot of fluctuation. We stay pretty steady all year round in the plumbing department, but that's one of our newer divisions. So we just started that about a year ago, and have two full-time plumbers in that on that side.
Nice. So with
Yep.
the plumbing, do you all see, because I know Ohio is kind of in an interesting region where in the summertime it gets fairly warm and then wintertime it gets pretty cold in that state. So do
Yes.
you all get a lot of frozen pipes up there?
We do, depending on the year. So, I mean, we can have pretty mild, you know, 30, 40-degree temperatures throughout the winter. But this past winter was really cold. So yeah, we saw a lot of freezing pipes and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in regards to the plumbing aspect of it, what services other than frozen pipes in the winter, what services have really seemed to be popular in your unique market?
Water heaters.
Water heat.
So tanked water heaters. We have gas and electric. Tankless water heaters are starting to really take off. So we're doing quite a bit of tankless water heaters. Um, more now than we were, 6 8 months ago.
Yeah. So
Yep.
let's learn a little bit more about, I guess, really the history of the company. So when did you all get your start?
So we've been in business for 10 years. I worked for another company for several years, and then always wanted to kind of go on my own and try to do my own thing. So the first 2 years, I was just working out of my garage. It was just me doing tune-ups. My background's in HVAC, so I was doing tune-ups, um, installs, service, everything for the first couple years, and then decided to start hiring on some guys. So, for the first 3 years, there was three or four of us at any given time. And then 10 years later, we're up to about 16, 17 employees.
Nice. So
Yep.
what made you, I guess, what was the push that made you decide to start hiring people?
My wife. I was working 7 days a week, 10, 12, 15-hour days. That was, we had a newborn. So that's kind of, at that time, I just decided to put some ads out there and start hiring, and it kind of took off from there.
Nice. Yeah,
Yep.
they say about entrepreneurship, the best thing about it is that you get to choose which 80 hours you work each week.
Right. And that's the truth. Yeah.
So when you started hiring people, did you notice like the business begin to grow because you had more availability for more jobs?
I did. I really started seeing the business grow once I hired somebody to work in the office and answer phone and scheduling. Because up until that point, I was really juggling, being in the field, being on the job, talking with the customer, also answering the phones, and trying to schedule more calls to where it got to a point where I was missing a lot of calls, therefore I wasn't getting any more business. So once I started hiring, we hired somebody to work in the office, answer, schedule calls. Then I start seeing it take off a little bit
Yeah.
quicker.
S- So what are some tools that you all have implemented to kind of help with the scheduling process?
So we use Service Titan, which we've been on Service Titan for about it's been about 2 years now. So we've gone through a couple different scheduling software programs, and then we come across, like I said, Service Titan that because we plan on to continue grow, and this platform has helped us a lot with keeping everything organized, all of our memberships, and all that information, equipment information, and things like that, all in one place. So if we go to a customer's house, we can see what we've done there in the past, the history, and all that stuff. That's helped us out.
Yeah. I feel like hiring the right people is so important these days, but having the right tools in place is equally as important. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree. I'd agree with that 100%. Yep, yep.
Yeah. So have you seen since you guys began using Service
We're
Titan, have you seen it, kind of ease up the workload?
it's just a different way of, how can I put it? It's a different way of looking at the job. So it does make it easier with scheduling, knowing where your technicians are. Again, knowing the history of that job. So right, with a click of a button, you can see everything that you've done for that customer in the last 2 years or so. And it even took the information that we had in our previous system and transferred it over. So it goes back, 5, 6 years that of history that we've worked on one piece of equipment, or if we switched it out and replaced it, we have all that information in there as well. So
Yeah.
it definitely makes it easier on us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Service Titan for that regard, for keeping up with the customer's aging equipment
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
also with
and,
like the
and
maintenance plans.
obviously maintenance plan, job costing, things like that, to where you can kind of see what you're paying the technician to be there, along with what materials you have on the job, so forth and so on, to really dial in and see exactly how much you're making on that particular job.
Yeah. So after you hired the office staff member, and you said that it kind of helped
Mhm.
you get your hands out of the phones and the books and stuff. Um, what are some steps that you took to really, I guess, to promote the business to try to bring on new growth in the market?
Again, one of the things that I've learned over the years is hiring is key.
Mhm.
Um, you got to get a good team together in order to make it all work. And that took me several years to figure out and get a good solid team together. And then also our processes, as far as you know from how we answer the phones, to how we show up to the house, to how we run through a service call, um, and then closing out the job. Obviously, one key factor in growth has been our, we call them our Total Care Club members, which is our membership plans. Just getting our customers set up with the membership plans for that repeat business, to when we know the fall is going to be slow for us, we know the spring's going to be slow for us. just trying to get through the shoulder seasons to where, we still have plenty of work in maintenance and tune-ups and things like that to get to.
Yeah. So with your maintenance plans, are you guys like I know some people they'll just go do the maintenance call or the biannual or annual maintenance service and then they'll just kind of leave. Have you ever experienced where you guys go in and you also schedule the very next 6 month appointment to keep that book full, that schedule full in the future?
We do on a certain occasion. So again, if they're coming up on the membership expiring, because we offer a 1 year, a 3 year, and a 5 year plan right
Hmm.
now. So you get a little bit of a discount the further it goes out. So if you're signing up for a 5 year plan, I mean, again, with Service Titan, it has it right in there when their next appointment is going to be, or pretty close to that time of year, the day that it would be. So a 1 year plan, we pretty much will schedule those per season. But then once it comes time for them to renew, then we'll try to schedule them out for the next one.
Yeah, nice. So with your,
Yep.
I guess with your maintenance plan, do you guys, when did you all implement the maintenance program?
I would say that's probably been in effect for the last 6 years. Um, but again, with a little tweaking and adding services, we've added more things to our maintenance plan.
Yeah.
So again, with the maintenance plan, you can get your discounts on the HVAC, the IAQ, the indoor air quality products, along with duct cleanings, dryer vents, and now plumbing. So it covers more than when I originally started with it. It was just more your AC tune up in the spring, furnace tune up in the fall, discounts on repairs and things like that.
Yeah. So from a marketing standpoint, how do you communicate the benefits of your maintenance program to customers?
So again, Elizabeth, who does the majority of our marketing, she stays in constant contact with our members. So we also run specials for just our members, where 1 month, 1 or 2 month out of the year, instead of it being 10% off of a um, indoor air quality products, a humidifier, UV light, it might be 25% off.
Mhm.
We're constantly sending emails and staying in communication with our members to obviously add the value of joining the Total Care Club.
Yeah. And have you seen an uptick in membership since beginning that communication?
We have definitely, yep, yep. People like to be in. I feel like they like to be informed. They like to feel like if they're paying for this membership that they're getting something out of it. So the information that they're getting, along with the additional discounts and things like that, I feel like it adds value, and we've had seen upticks in the amount, and also um, people telling their family members about it.
Yeah. So from a business standpoint, for some of the contractors who may be listening to this episode,
Mhm.
in your, I guess in your opinion, Ryan, what's the biggest benefit of offering a maintenance program to customers?
I think it's just having and knowing that you have the business moving forward to where it's not so much an up and down. Um, you're scheduling, like you kind of said earlier, you can schedule out your September's, October's, November's, to where um, you have the business coming in, even though it's not 30 degrees outside. And also the same for your spring.
Hmm.
Around here typically your March and April's slow down quite a bit, so we can fill the schedule. We can get back in that customer's house, and again, just making sure that their system's running the right way, and keeping our guys busy. Therefore, we don't have to lay anybody off in the slow time, and everybody can get hours and not feel like it's just mad rush in the summer, and then it's dead in the fall or the spring. So it keeps that constant business coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually never thought of it that way because, where we're at down here in Chesapeake, Virginia, it's very
Hmm.
similar to what you just described, where I would say October, November, it gets pretty slow. September is still pretty
Hmm.
warm down here. We're still getting 75, 80-degree days in September. But once we hit
Okay.
October and November, it starts dropping down to like those 55, 60 degrees days where you don't really need your heat that much. You might turn it on every once in a while. So you're not getting no heat calls. And then same in
Yep.
the spring where like March and April, it's, in the 60s. Again, you're not really needing your AC just yet. So you're not getting the no cooling calls either. Um,
Yep.
and so that's actually really smart to strategically plan those tune-ups and those maintenance visits during those shoulder seasons so that, like you said, you have 2 months where there's a steady flow of work still going on. Even if it is just routine maintenance, you still have the work coming in. You still have jobs to provide for your employees, which is important right now because it's hard to find good technicians. So being able to keep them and retain them
Exactly.
in the shoulder seasons is huge.
Yeah. As soon as you start cutting hours or anything like that, I feel like they're just going to start looking elsewhere, and you'll have a better chance of losing them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we focus pretty hard on our membership plans. We do believe that they are, pretty much the lifeline, and keep the business running. Because again, if you're in a customer's house and they trust you and they want you, they want to keep their system running efficiently as possible. Um, they're and they do have an issue. There shouldn't be any reason why they call another company. They should, I feel like with this maintenance plan, they should call you. They're going to get the discounts, and then they don't pay a with our plan, they don't pay a trip charge as well.
Yeah. And so, and I also think it's really cool because once you have, you install a heat pump or a furnace or whatever it may be for them, and then you're doing the maintenance on that, and then they need dryer vent cleaning or they need plumbing services or electrical, whatever
Hmm.
the other services are that you may offer, you're already top of mind. Um, and you can still, I mean, they already trust your business. You already have them in your, in your database. So you don't have to go through like the new customer onboarding again, if like some people call it. You got their address and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's as simple as just scheduling it. So have you seen your maintenance plans trickle down into more jobs for other services that you offer?
We do. So again, with just being able to get in the house a couple times a year. Um, One example is, if you're doing a furnace maintenance or a tune up, the water heater is usually pretty close by. So, one thing that we'll do is, we'll check the expansion tanks. If the
Hmm.
expansion tanks are, filled with water, we'll obviously bring that to the customer's attention. And then that opens up an opportunity for a plumber to get out there and replace an expansion tank. And that's just a little thing that we do, because it's very common that you see failed expansion tanks on the water heaters. So I would say absolutely it opens up more jobs for um, other services that we offer.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually had
Yep.
happened to me. About November of last year, my water heater was
Mhm.
all jacked up, and I called them out and they checked it out, and the expansion tank was all jacked up, and they ended up replacing
Yeah.
it. And then I ended up using the same company for my HVAC replacement in the spring, just
Oh, nice.
because, yeah. So it really is like once you get in the door and you become the customer's preferred, you know, contractor or their guy, as some people might call it. I got a guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
that's awesome, and you can continue to get them for more services, as the time comes, as they need it.
Exactly. And it's if we could become a one stop shop, as far as the customer looking for any home service, and we could provide that for them, it kind of takes the guesswork out of them looking for somebody else, another company that may do something that we don't do. So, yeah, we plan on, again, expanding our services as we go.
Yeah. So when do you think electrical's coming?
I don't know. We'll see. I'd say probably within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Let the plumbing side kind of build up a little bit. But that would be one of the next things because we get asked that question quite a bit. As far as do you know any electricians, and we have a few that we refer in our area.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of contractors get into electrical through generator installations. It seems like in our
Yeah.
area in particular, I don't know about in Ohio, but in our area, we know we are in a hurricane zone, and so whole house backup generators
Hmm.
are very popular out here. And from what I've heard, they're not entirely too difficult to install. And so they get one guy or two guys that do heating and cooling, but also know how to install these hookups for these generators, and then slowly that brings on more electrical business. Do you all do generators at all up there?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on what part of um, you know Cincinnati that you're from, but there are some rural areas that there's plenty of generators that are being installed out there. Um, I don't know a whole lot about what goes into the installation of a generator at this time, but yeah, there's definitely companies that are doing it in our area already.
Yeah. Yeah, that always
Yeah.
always intrigued me how I guess how they someone could not be an electrician but knows how to hook them up. 'Cause it must be something to it that's just not super difficult. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, some of them run off of gas, so
Mhm.
we've piped gas lines to them
Yeah,
before. So
that's
I guess
true. Yeah, I didn't even think about
the other
that.
part of that would be the electric.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I guess that's true here too, because it hooks directly up to the natural gas line, and
Hmm.
then which if you're a plumber or even heating and air conditioning, you should know how to hook that stuff up, and then it outputs the energy rather than it actually doesn't even hook up into electrical. Now that I think about it, because that's the point of a a standby generator. So when the electrical goes out, you still have power because of the gas.
Yeah, yeah, and we do a lot of gas line work for a local company that does fireplace inserts. So we'll run a lot of gas line for fireplaces.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, Ryan, if you were giving advice to yourself 10 years ago when starting up this business, what's something that you would tell yourself?
Um, I would tell myself to one hire smarter, take a little bit more time to in the hiring process. What do they say? Hire slow, fire fast,
Hmm.
um, and and just go for it. Not being, when I first started out, I was very timid and really didn't know the business side of it. And I'm still learning the business side of it every day. You know, I'm comfortable in the field. I'm comfortable, running service and things like that. That's my background. But yeah, just reading a lot of different books and taking that information and running with it because there's people that have done this in the past and are very very successful. So just reading a lot of books and getting as much information on the business side of it as I could because that's probably the number one spot that I struggle.
Yeah. So what are a few of those books that you read that have really stood out to you?
So I joined a group about 3 years ago called CEO Warrior, and they have a lot of training courses. And I started off by reading his book, and went to a training out of New Jersey, and again just started implementing just the little things that they were doing that made a huge difference. And like I said, I still have a lot to do, a lot to learn, but
Hmm.
getting, getting with a group, and again, it's a group of business owners that have been there and made the mistakes. So hopefully that I don't have to. So again, we have weekly meetings that we hop on, just talk business, talk different strategies and things like that. That has helped probably hands down.
Nice. Well, Ryan,
Yep.
this has been an awesome episode. I've really appreciated talking to you. I feel like I've learned a lot just from speaking to you in these 25 minutes, and I hope that our listeners out there have picked up a nugget or two of wisdom to apply to their business to help them grow. So, Ryan, what's a great way for someone to reach out to you if they had more questions or if maybe they just wanted to connect with you?
Probably best would be email. So email is Ryan at myqualitycomfort.com. If you wanted to speak to me directly, or if it was anything local, then they could always call our office. But or you could go to our website, which is myqualitycomfort.com.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, I
Yep.
appreciate you taking some time out of your morning to speak with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Had a good time.
Awesome.